Master, I present to you Brother Terry Wester, who has been newly elected Worshipful Master for the ensuing year.
Brethren, you behold Brother Terry Wester, who has been elected Worshipful Master of this lodge for the ensuing year, and is now presented for installation. I charge you and each of you to be loyal to his efforts to rule and govern the lodge in continual peace and harmony. Brother Wester, I congratulate you upon your election as Worshipful Master of this lodge, and it affords me great pleasure to invest you with the jewel and implement of your office. However, before your investiture, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to those ancient charges and regulations which all Masons before you have done, which points out the duty of every master. Do you promise to be a good man and true, and strictly to obey the moral law? I do. Do you promise to be a peaceful citizen and cheerfully conform to the laws of the country in which you reside? I do. Do you promise not to be concerned in plots and conspiracies against the government of the country in which you live, but patiently submit to the elected officials and decisions of the law-constituted authorities? I do. Do you promise to pay proper respect to the civil magistrate, to work diligently, live credibly, and act honorably by all men? Do you promise to hold in veneration the original rulers and patrons of the order of Freemasonry and their regular successors, supreme and subordinate, according to their stations, and to submit to the awards and resolutions of your brother in lodge convened, in every case consistent with the constitutions of our order? I do. Do you promise as much as in you lies to avoid private ricks and quarrels, and to guard against intemperance and excess? I do. Do you promise to be cautious in your behavior, courteous to your brethren, and faithful to your lodge? I do. Do you promise to respect genuine and true brethren, and discount impostors and dissenters from the ancient landmarks of the constitutions of the order? I do. Do you promise, according to the best of your ability, to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the subtlest of virtue, and to propagate the knowledge of the mystic art according to our statutes? I do. Do you promise to pay homage to the Grand Master for the time being and his officers when duly installed, and strictly conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge, and that is not subversive of principles and groundwork of Masonry? I do. Do you promise to regulate the attendance on the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge on receiving proper notices, and to pay due attention to the duties of Masonry? I do. Do you admit that it is not in the power of any man or any body of men to make innovations in the body of Masonry? I do. Do you admit that no new lodge can be formed without permission of the Grand Lodge, that no countenance ought to be given to any irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein as being contrary to the ancient charges of the order? I do. Do you admit that no person can be regularly made a Freemason in or admitted in a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character? Do you agree that no visitor shall be received into your lodge without the examination and proper paper vouching for having been initiated in a regular lodge? I do. These are the regulations of free and accepted Masons. Do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations as all masters have done before you? I do. Brother Wester, in consequence of your cheerful conformity to the charges and regulations of the fraternity, you are now to be installed master of this lodge in full confidence and skill of ability to govern the same. With pleasure, I invest you with the jewel of your office, place in your charge the furniture of the lodge and the implements of our profession, which is emblematic of a true Masonic life. The holy writings, that great light in Masonry, will guide you to all truth. It will direct your feet to the path of happiness and to point out the duty of man. The The square teaches us to regulate our actions by the ruling line and harmonize our conduct of the principles of morality and virtue. The compasses teaches us to limit our desires in every station, that rising to eminence by merit, may we live respected and die regretted. The rule directs that we should punctually discharge of our duty, press forward to the paths of virtue, and neither inclining to the right nor to the left. All our actions have eternity in view. The line teaches that the criterion of moral rectitude to avoid dissimulation in conversation and conduct, and to direct the steps of the path which leads to a glorious immortality. The Book of Constitutions you are to search at all times, cause it to be read frequently, that none may be ignorant of its excellent rules and regulations and everything like that. You now receive the charter by which the authority of this lodge is held. And you are to pass it to your successors after your year has ended. You also receive the charge of the bylaws of your lodge, which you are to see carefully and dutifully executed. If you want to see right here, I'll get back to you shortly. Brother Installing Marshal.